Hello and welcome back. Once again, we are here to help you with your IELTS exam preparation. In today's video, we are going to focus on pronunciation and how it impacts the speaking band score. So let's start. As we have learned in this IELTS video lesson series that the IELTS speaking assessment is marked based on 4 criteria, we have already gained knowledge about fluency and coherence, lexical resources and grammatical range and accuracy in the previous videos. You can watch those videos if you haven't yet. In this video, we are going to learn about pronunciation as a parameter and what it all includes. All 4 criteria have equal importance and role in deciding the band score for each candidate. In other words, pronunciation carries 25% weightage in the assessment and therefore cannot be neglected. You might think it's just about pronouncing words correctly. Well, that is just a little part of it. This parameter checks way more than that. Let's learn. To commence with, it checks if individual sounds are clearly produced. According to the International Phonetic Alphabet, there are 44 sounds in the English language. These sounds should be crystal clear and enunciated using the right manner if somebody is aiming for a higher band score such as 7 or 8. Having said that, there is still no need to be pedantic about them since certain sounds in this chart that belong to English are not present in the local Indian languages. In that case, it is absolutely fine to use alternatives in place of them as long as they don't distort the pronunciation or make the words sound incomprehensible. Candidates who have high mother tongue influence, short form MTI, they might find this chart helpful for correction of those sounds. But remember, if you are able to produce vowel sounds and consonant sounds such as S and Z, clearly you don't need to bother yourself much. Here is a list of few commonly mispronounced words. Pause the video here if you want to pronounce them yourself first before listening to the correct enunciation. Here is how we pronounce them. Pronunciation, Wednesday, cough, elite, mischievous, probably. Whenever you come across any word you find difficult to pronounce, just look for its perfect pronunciation in either Cambridge or Oxford dictionary. You could follow either UK British English or US American English pronunciation as they both are standard and acceptable in IELTS. Whichever you follow, just make sure you follow that throughout as mixtures are not desired. Let's move on. The pronunciation parameter also checks connected speech. As we speak naturally, at certain times, sounds of the tail of a word merge with the sounds at the beginning of the subsequent word. This happens automatically and we may not realize it as this process takes place too fast. Therefore, no gap is left between the words and a good flow of speech is established. This is called connected speech. If a candidate is taking pause right after every word they say, then they might need to correct their connected speech. There are various types of connected speech: catenation, intrusion, elision, assimilation, and germinates. We will not delve into the technicalities, but here is an example to help you understand how this works. This type is catenation. In this case, it depicts consonant and vowel linking. The first example is this apple. If you say this apple slowly without a gap between them, you might notice something weird. Well, the consonant sound S at the end of this is merging with the S sound at the start of apple, making it sound more like this apple. Interesting, isn't it? Let's try again. This time we have cool it. Try to speak cool it slowly and observe what comes out. That's right, it sounds like cool lit. Now let's try with a longer sentence. She took it and threw it away. You can pause the video if you want to try it first. And this is how it sounds when spoken naturally. She took it and threw it away. It became a completely new sentence. Now the next thing which is checked by this parameter is the word and sentence stress. Very important. What is the word stress? Well, to get that, we first need to understand that English is not strong phonetically. That means to say that the pronunciation doesn't really depend on the spelling of the words, and that is the biggest problem. That's why we have dictionaries for checking the right pronunciation. There is no other way around as patterns do not stick for long. There are always more exceptions and that is the beauty of English. Here is an example to show how word stress is unpredictable, yet helps pronounce the word correctly. The first word is photograph. Here the syllable pho is stressed, or we can say that we sort of stretched it more. Now for the next word, if we stressed pho again, the pronunciation would go wrong. We need to stress to hair. Photography, similar spellings but a considerable change in production. Then photographer, toe is stressed again. And finally, photographic, gra is stressed. Word stress plays around and we need to understand that. The only way to know where to stress is by listening to the correct pronunciation and imitating it multiple times. Make sure you get your pronunciation from reliable sources such as Cambridge or Oxford Dictionary only. Sentence stress. Stress also plays a role in sentence. Stressing different words at different times may alter their overall meaning. Let's understand with the help of an example. The sentence reads, I didn't ask you to fold the sheets. This means I didn't ask you, I had asked somebody else to fold the sheets. Let's stress some other words now in the same sentence and see how that changes the meaning. I didn't ask you to fold the sheets. I had in fact asked you to iron them. We must use sentence stress wisely as we just saw its effect on sentences. Chunking is also checked by this parameter. Chunking is about taking the right pauses at the right time. This helps highlight the key elements in your speech and also gives sufficient time to the listener to gather and digest the already given data. It also creates a dramatic effect on the audience. Nobody would want a speaker to speak continuously without a break. Turns out pauses have a positive trait too when used in the right places. Finally comes intonation. The rise and fall in tone is called intonation. If there is no rise and fall, we would sound like Alexa or Google Assistant. In other words, if the intonation is flat, the speech sounds robotic. And nobody would like to sound like that. Somebody, the intonation rises and other times it falls. It all depends on what you are saying. Here are a couple of examples. Are you thirsty? Intonation goes up. Is she a new teacher? Intonation goes up again. We have reached the destination. Now it goes down. Where does he live? And down again. In most cases, test takers don't need to fiddle with their intonation as they already sound fine. If you're facing difficulties with intonation, maybe you should watch some TV shows or movies and listen carefully to how dialogues are delivered in different situations. That will give you a fair idea. Alright, that's all that pronunciation checks. In a nutshell, just make sure that you sound clear and comprehensive and people don't find difficulty following you as you speak. With this video, we are giving away a free takeaway self-study PDF which contains a number of words that are mispronounced by a good deal of speakers around the world. Try them out and verify them from a reliable source. Hope you found the video helpful. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching.